Okay, 2002 BMW X5. The air filter is filthy. The spark plugs look good. They look like they've been done, but this definitely I would recommend a new one. I have the scan tool on it, ignition on, and we are checking for codes. So we have 4 codes. One for inlet camshaft. The sensor, cam position sensor, is throwing a fault code. Second one is for idle speed, and it's telling us that there might be a leak and cause the idle to be erratic. The oxygen sensor code for, let's see, control not active after specified time. This is usually in the heater control. With the engine running, the O2 sensor has to heat up in a certain, has to record that it's been heated up within a certain time frame. If that doesn't happen, the ECU will throw a fault code. And then the last one, thermostat map cooling mechanical jammed open. This is a fault code for a stuck open thermostat. In these cars, the thermostat is controlled via a resistor inside the wax pellet that the computer controls, and I'll show you where that is. That is #1 cause for not having any heat. Obviously that button had something to do with it, but this is an indication of the engine running too cold. So basically the thermostat never closes. It's stuck open, therefore the it could never reach what do you call it, closed loop. So that the thermostat and the O2 sensor go together hand in hand. The idle speed code, I would check intake boots, vacuum lines, usually vacuum leaks, something like that. And the first one for the intake cam sensor, the camshafts are hydraulically controlled in these cars. They use the Vanos solenoids and the Vano adjuster units. And this one has a filthy oil, and it looks very low. It's at the minimum mark. There's also a lot of condensation in the engine. I'll get to that right now. If you lift the oil cap, you will see a bunch of crud. All that white stuff, that's just moisture, because most likely this car sat. So there's some there, and there's some in there. Kind of hard to see with this. There you go. What I would do is flush the engine, do a motor flush, put some cleaning agent in it, and get it nice and hot. Obviously don't run it, just let it idle for like 30 minutes or so, and then drain everything and replace the filter. Filter sits right there. Another interesting thing I noticed about the cooling system and the no heat condition and whatnot, the thermostat. So whoever had this car was aware of that problem, and because the car didn't have any heat and it wasn't reaching operating temperature, they did something drastic, and I found it by luck, really. If you look in there, you know, it's kind of hard to see with this cover on, but if you look in there, you will see the fins of a fan, right? However, you'll notice that it's not hooked up to the water pump. There's the water pump connection, that metal rusty piece in the center, and then there's the fan with the fan clutch just disconnected and just sitting there. So that's been taken out by someone on purpose to get the engine to warm up faster, in an attempt to get the engine up to temperature. Obviously that didn't work because the thermostat controls that, not the fan. The thermostat sits in there. This has to come off. It's tucked in there. So yeah, obviously the right thing to do is to replace the thermostat, flush the cooling system, and obviously put that fan clutch back on, because and the fan, because now it's, it runs fine without it because it's winter and it's cold. But once the summer comes, or if you get stuck in traffic, that thing will overheat the engine, and that's never good. Also, that moisture in there. So with the engine up and running all the way to the temperature, that should boil off within minutes if you're driving it on a highway. And the fact that it's there and it's just accumulating, again, is an indication of a cold running engine. I think this is enough for a single video. My phone is dead, and that's why I'm using the old camera. But anyway, I will keep you posted. Thanks.